Welcome to Uncanny X-Minutes, where we bring you the comics behind the movies. I'm Producer James.
And I'm Stasia.
And this is X-Men Days of Future Past, minutes 30 through 40.
Would you like to know what happens, James?
Hit me up.
Wolverine convinces Professor X to help. Mystique infiltrates Trask Industries, and Wolverine and the gang visit the Maximoff household.
Ooh, who the Maximoffs?
Well, you may know them as Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, Pietro, and Wanda.
Yeah.
I love them.
So, first off, we're not going to talk about Wanda.
We already kind of did that.
We've talked about, but she is like blink and you miss it character in this movie.
Yeah.
It's a little girl that's there dressed kind of like a princess.
Yeah.
And that's it. The focus of the scene is Quicksilver.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, when I saw this in the theaters, I was like, we're back, baby.
We're back.
Here is some fun mutant hijinks that I am here for.
This is my favorite. I was like devastated when they like didn't actually use him in the real MCU. When they like did the fake thing, I was like actually heartbroken because I loved him as Quicksilver so much.
Right. For those, I'm sure everyone knows what we're talking about, but for those that don't, when they did WandaVision, there was an end of an episode. This is when they released them week by week. One of them ends with Evan Peters, the guy who plays Quicksilver in the X-Men universe, showing up at the house as Pietro.
Yeah.
And we all lost our collective mind.
Yeah.
Because we're like, is this it? Are we now getting the X-Men universe coming in? Is it Wanda's shenanigans that are like bringing the X-Men into the Marvel universe? No. He is an actor who is pretending like they recast, quote unquote, her brother who was dead in the MCU.
Right. It was like Ralph. His name was Ralph, and it was really irritating, actually.
I kind of love it and hate it at the same time.
I am hoping this does not count for what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah.
But I am hoping that they bring him in and it's a big surprise in the new stuff because he's the right age to be kind of young.
Yeah.
And be with that X-Men team if they're going a little young, and that would be really great. But who can say? So
let's start with behind the scenes IP rights nonsense.
Yeah.
Okay. So technically, Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch were created for X-Men. X-Men number 4. They are the first appearance of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. Mm-hmm. They are X-Men characters.
That is correct.
The problem is, not long after, they're like barely in the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. Even though they are in the original team, they're kind of not often in the team.
No.
They then go to the Avengers, and they've been an Avenger more than they were an X-Men villain.
Like a significantly more.
Significantly more. So, when you're talking rights, it gets weird, because it's not always where was someone created. Because we've talked about Sabretooth being created in Iron Fist.
Yeah.
And is not an Iron Fist character. He is an X-Man. I believe Mystique was in Ms. Marvel.
Yeah.
And is an X-Men character. Like, just because you're created in one book doesn't mean you're part of that universe.
Yeah.
But they are a weird exception.
They really are.
We'll get into most of their comic book shenanigans next week.
Yeah.
But for now, let's just leave it at their appearances are more heavily influenced in the Avengers realm, but they were created and do mess with the X-Men enough.
A lot.
So when you have rights for Marvel and rights at Fox, they kind of got split into two.
Yes.
And I don't know the exact specifics because I don't care that much. But my working theory is Marvel is really allowed to have Scarlet Witch and Fox is allowed to have Quicksilver. Mm-hmm. As I think is how they split it, because Quicksilver dies. If you haven't, spoilers for Avengers
Ultron.
Age of Ultron. But he dies in that. So he's only in one movie. And they don't ever bring him back.
No.
So they get Wanda, and we get Quicksilver.
Yeah.
And the way they've done both those characters, I'm okay with that.
I'm also okay with that. Yeah. I think this is my favorite Quicksilver in a movie ever.
Yeah. I love Wanda, too. Like, I do like her portrayal in the MCU.
It's fine.
But this is an awesome speedster.
Yeah, he's great.
He's awesome. He's great. He's fun.
He's nothing like Quicksilver in the comics, though.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah, he's so much younger, and it really, which we're going to talk about today, actually. Yeah. It definitely skews much more lighthearted, much more fun. He's reckless in the way where in the comic books, I would argue he's reckless in like a scary way sometimes.
Yes.
Where in the movies he's so young, he's reckless in like a teenager way, which much more goes with the story that they're telling with the age of people in those movies.
Yeah, this is one of those instances where I'm like, I'm okay that you changed the character.
Yeah. Because it doesn't really work. He would have had to been with the X-Men like way earlier with the older team.
Yeah. So like, because like the Silver Age, he, like I said, X-Men number 4, he is in the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, and even in the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, he is a reluctant villain.
Yes.
Both him and Wanda are like, I don't want to be doing this. Mm-hmm. The reason they are is Magneto saved them from a mob.
Yeah.
And so they felt they owed him, and they also do want to help out. Like, I think there's a little bit of like Magneto's, there's something there that maybe we can help out with, but they are still doing villainous-ish things.
Yeah. They do occasionally curb his worst impulses and like kind of save heroes like the kids sometimes, like where Magneto's about to kill somebody and they kind of like intercept, but like they're really working for Magneto, but yeah.
So eventually there is like there is an issue where they decide they want to leave. And so the only public-facing superhero at the time was the Fantastic Four. Mm-hmm. So this is still, X-Men are all using secret identities. The Avengers are all using secret identities. The Fantastic Four is the only people that everyone knows. They try showing up at the Baxter Building to be like, we would like to be heroes, please.
Yeah.
And everyone goes, oh no, it's the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. Uh-huh. And they fight the Thing and the Human Torch. So they're like, well, you know what? Phooey on you. And they walk away. And then a couple, months later, same thing happens, but with the Avengers. Like, they run into Tony Stark and they actually go through the proper channels. And they are the second iteration of the Avengers, led by Captain America.
Right. The
fun part, though, is that Quicksilver wants to be the leader.
Yeah, he does. Usually does.
Quicksilver and Hawkeye. So, which, if you look at that iteration, it's hilarious because Hawkeye, Quicksilver, and Scarlet Witch have all been villains.
Yeah.
Up to this point. So it's them underneath Captain America's lead.
Yeah.
Where two of them want to be the leader.
And not realizing that Captain America is the only one giving them the veneer of like passability, really.
Right, legitimacy, yeah. This is also at a time where I feel like Captain America is less strong. And so they keep saying the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, Pietro's like, dude, I'm so fast. I got so much powers. Why are you the leader? It's like that sort of mentality.
Yeah.
You can't do all that in X-Men. Not in this X-Men movie.
No. And it's so much more crossover with Avengers. It's like not worth it.
Exactly. Like, just, like I said, it's so little.
It really is. Like I think they stuck with like some of his traits that I think persist, like the recklessness and things like that, but they didn't like bring out.
He is more of a thrill seeker.
Yes.
Like, the reason why he agrees to break out Magneto in the next 10 minutes is because it sounds like fun.
Right. It's a use of his powers. It's something interesting.
The fact that you walk in and his basement is full of stolen goods and everything is for him.
Yeah.
Like I love it because it does smell villain.
Yeah,
but it smells like petty criminal.
Right,
is really
it's
what
a teenager.
It's a teenager thing. But like his speediness is done so well. Like the fact that he's going through his the glove compartment, like to see who they are. I know you're not feds. I went through your rental car. You should have. Your agreement's horrible. Like it's like all of his smarminess is there, and I love it.
Oh God. It's really interesting that you say something about thrill seeking because it ties in weirdly. It didn't click until you said it to one of the stories that I read, actually.
Okay.
I read a couple of things, but I want you to, anything else about the earlier story?
Go ahead.
Okay, so we're going to jump in where we always jump in. 1992, baby.
Yeah, it's the 90s.
I'm always bringing us back to the 90s.
No. You bring us to the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. I tend to do the 2000s, the 10s, the 20s.
Yes. I would like to actually kind of weirdly pick up back where we left off last week with the Executioner song.
Okay.
So this is kind of the era, just to give you guys an idea of where because we jump around in time.
Yeah.
We're in 1992. This is Peter David's X Factor. This is issue number 84.
This is Peter David's first X Factor.
That is correct. This is Peter David's first X Factor, 1992.
So not Multiple Man being a private detective.
No, this is Alex Summers running X Factor.
So if you watch X-Men 97, they have pictures of X Factor. Mm-hmm. This is that.
Yeah.
This is that run.
Yeah, exactly. This is the storyline where Strife, aka Cable's clone, shoots Professor X, just to give us context. And there is kind of a fight between X-Force, who's being run by Cable, X Factor, the X-Men. They're all kind of chasing people down or whatever. During this run, there is the interview with Dr. Samson, which we have talked about before.
Doc Samson.
Yeah. Specifically when we talked about Polaris, I think we talked a lot about it because it's really heavy-handed in here. But it gives us the best. I love this because it gives us such a great insight on the characters. It's such a character study. It literally, the whole issue is that. And
for those that, just as a slight reminder, Doc Samson is a psychiatrist and also an Incredible Hulk character.
Yes.
But it's like if you need legal help, you'll bring in She-Hulk or Daredevil.
Right. Basically, he's a psychiatrist that can handle, unstable X-Men throwing things at him, basically.
Oh, man, we need to bring him more in.
I agree. He's just really good every time. This is when he talks about, his opinion on life as, how life is boredom. And everything he does is trying to ease that everything is in slow motion. And he describes... he's waiting in line. You know, ever been waiting in line for an ATM and someone in front of you doesn't know how to use it and you're just getting, how do you feel? And Dr. Simmons is like, a little impatient, a little annoyed. He's like, imagine your entire life being like that. And it is such a interesting, reframing of why he is a jerk, because Quicksilver has had, they call it PMS, which is Pietro Maximoff syndrome, where he is high-handed and arrogant. And he says, yes, I take that to an art form. And he not only thinks little of the people around him, but he thinks little of himself most of all. Very key. So this is also a self-hatred thing. He's impatient because of this feeling like the world is constantly in slow motion for him. And it's a struggle. And I think that if you take that and this idea of trying to cure this boredom, it kind of ties into the character they put in this movie, right?
Yeah.
It's he wants to do things for the thrills because he's bored. Everything is so slow. And I think that actually is the connecting tissue between the two characters, which I think is very cool that they brought in. And even if they made him way younger and they took a different tack,
well, it'd almost be worse as you're younger.
Right. Yeah, you know, impulse
especially with the powers appearing around that time.
Right.
You would be the worst.
Right. So
as someone who's about to have a teenager, let me tell you, that would be the worst.
Right.
If she became a speedster,
oh God,
kill me now.
Yeah, right. It's difficult. and this is it's pretty interesting. So he is he we've mentioned, he at this time he's definitely spent a lot of time with the Avengers, and he has a wife. Her name, well, at this point,
I'll be honest, I did not know this. Because, like you're saying, he is, just going through the appearances he has, it is so Avengers heavy.
It's mostly Avengers.
It's mostly Avengers after he leaves the Brotherhood. Yeah. I'm sure he shows up here and there and whatever, usually the two of them, because we'll get into nonsense until next week. But, there is reasons for them to come back into the X-Men world. But when you look at it, it is so Avengers heavy. So when I saw... he had a wife, the Inhuman Crystal.
That is correct.
I was like, really?
Yep.
Because once again, I don't mess with any of that. The only thing I know about the Inhumans and Crystal comes from the Fantastic Four cartoon from the 90s, where Johnny Storm had a thing with Crystal. And that's all I knew.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
That is true.
Oh, I assumed it was true. A lot of the 90s cartoons are based off the comics.
Yes. So he also has a daughter. Did you know that?
Once again, read it now.
When you read it today.
It does come into play. I do have like a more recent mini that he's in that I will. She comes up.
Yes. Okay. So Crystal, it's an Avengers subplot, and you know what? This is not an Avengers podcast. Go somewhere else for that.
Yeah.
But I will give you.
You want to know what happens in the 80s? I don't know. You please tell me.
But I will give you like a quick rundown. Basically, like she finds him, she brings him to Atlan, they fall in love. Unfortunately, she is kind of dating Johnny Storm, so that's kind of a problem. She ends up picking Pietro. They get married.
Yeah.
Like very quickly. It's very 80s, 90s comics. They have a kid, etc.
Her name's Luna.
Yes, her name is Luna. They have a really off and on marriage, particularly.
Well, considering I didn't know it existed.
Yes.
I'm not surprised.
It's pretty tough. The reason I know this is because in this run there is crystals in it.
Okay.
In the Peter David run, actually, and so she and him are trying to reconnect. So if you are very curious, I beg you to go read those Avengers comics. If you're interested, just like search for him and Crystal and find those comics and read them. I'm not
even bothered to tell you what issues they are.
Do not figure it out, okay? Don't read it. Read X-Men. Why are you here? You know? But like the point is,
if you've read all the X-Men, then yes, go read it.
Yes, but until then, don't ask me about issue numbers of Avengers, okay? But like the point is though is that they are constantly struggling because he has a really hard time living under a monarchy.
Oh, I bet.
So kind of like the same issue with the Avengers and ruling it. He's like, why do I have to listen to Black Bolt? And it's like, because that's just how...
That's how we roll.
That's how, like, you want to be on the X-Men, and unfortunately, you're with Inhumans.
So Quicksilver has the same problem with the Inhumans that we have.
That is actually 100... here's the problem. He's 100% correct. And I hate to say it, but I also would struggle to live under Black Bolt.
I think we had said it previous episodes that part of the reason for us the Inhumans don't stick is they are a monarchy family.
They are.
That's like, cool, you're in power always and ever. Cool. You know what I want? Found family. I want the freaks that have to band together because everyone else hates them.
Yeah.
That I get.
Absolutely. So in this run, he's trying to reconnect with Crystal, and they like have like this escape to Val Cooper, who is running X Factor at the time, which we've talked about that snake, and I'm not gonna.
Still a snake.
Still a snake.
I was reading some of that X Factor, and as soon as she showed up, I was like, "What a snake!"
Turn the
Next page.
I'm so glad.
Don't trust you now.
I've shaded her for you forever.
But the thing is, as you're even reading like their first appearance of this all new X Factor, she doesn't give off a good vibe.
No, she's not a good person.
So I mean, it wasn't it wasn't just you coloring it.
No.
You read it and you're like, yeah, you a snake.
Yeah. She gives him the keys to go off to this house in Maine to like reconnect with his wife, which we get some interesting things about his powers because we've mentioned he's a speedster. We get a clocking by a cop, 189 miles per hour.
Okay.
And Crystal has to wear, even though she's an Inhuman, has to wear a oxygen mask while he's running with her in his arms.
Yeah.
Which is also really interesting because that's not always the case in a lot of comic books, right?
DC fixed that problem with Flash.
Okay.
They have the Speed Force, which will protect the person running and anyone they're running with.
I think that they probably fix it later, but that's in any case.
It's one of those things that someone's paying attention once.
And it shows up. They have like a really romantic getaway or whatever. But the point that is this kind of like weird side quest that we want to talk about is, again, this run, especially this early run with Peter David, is very character focused.
Yeah.
It's about what happens when they're up there. They like, there's just so much lovey-dovey. There's romance. There's literally a bearskin rug. He's taking care of everything for her. It's just like a very romantic setting. He goes into town to get groceries, and he gets stopped by a reporter. And the reporter has pictures of his wife, not in explicit pictures, but just with a guy. And he's like, I'm going to release these or whatever. And Quicksilver snaps back into what I would argue is his general mode of like slightly villainous. And he's just like, I just want you to know something. And like, he's like holding him up and like shaking him, right? He's like, I will kill you. Not I could kill you. I will kill you. And he's like, I could just hold you in my arms and run and you would asphyxiate. I could push you down a staircase. You could trip into traffic. Do you know how easy it is for me to kill you with speed? It's crazy. He gets like into insane details all the time. He's like, you literally do not want to be talking to me right now, which in some ways is like scary, which is what I mentioned earlier. Like Quicksilver is kind of scary. He's got a temper. He's kind of violent, but like
we're not going to get into Scarlet Witch, but even her powers early felt like bad luck.
Yes.
That they always call it hexes, and it's usually like she accidentally pointed at something.
Right. Quicksilver is very intentional and murderous.
100%.
He breaks this guy's nose just to prove a point, and then goes back to see his wife. But here's the problem with Quicksilver, and this is like what I think leads to generally most of his ills, is that he goes back to his wife. And she's like, hey, what's wrong? Why are you acting cold? And he's like, are you seeing somebody? And she's like, no. Like, what would make you say that? And he's like, nothing. He like does not open up to her. He doesn't do, and it like kills the mood. And she wants to go back home basically the next day. Sure. And their marriage like reigniting ends here because he has an inability, and they mention this later, inability to trust.
Yeah.
Just inherently, like even his wife. So that's like so key to his character that they kind of like this relationship with Crystal lasts until the next Peter David run. Like, which is crazy, right? Because like, I mean, I think this run is like really interesting because it ends at 89 and then he's replaced by Scott Lobdell, who kind of like has a couple issues that wraps up the story. So like clearly something happened there. I did not look into why.
Yeah, I don't.
Whatever.
I don't always want to know behind the scenes.
Exactly.
Because whatever's written is there. That's what we're there for.
Right.
Yeah.
So like it is what it is, but there's definitely some threads that are dropped. But when he returns later in the X Factor investigations that we've talked about, which is with Multiple Man, I'm going to take a quick peek in a second and find the year for that because I forgot to write that down.
05.
Yeah, it's like early mid 2000s. But they revisit the Samson interviews.
Yeah.
Now, the problem is, at the time for X Factor investigations, Quicksilver is not on Multiple Man's team.
Okay.
He's not. The team consists of Siren, so that's Teresa Cassidy, so the daughter of Banshee. And then we have Richter, and we have Rain, the werewolf lady, the girl from New Mutants. We've got Maddox, obviously, Multiple Man. We've got Monet, my fave, love her, queen.
Yeah.
And Guido, also known as Strong Guy. And Layla Miller.
Right. Layla knows things.
She knows stuff.
She knows stuff. Sorry. She knows stuff. We've talked about her going into the future with Multiple Man.
Yeah.
During Messiah War.
Yeah.
Complex? No, I don't remember it. I think it's Complex.
I think it might be Complex.
I can't remember if it was Second. No, was it Second Coming?
I'm not sure.
Shoot, it's one of the. It's during the Hope nonsense.
That is
during Utopia.
Yeah. So in the end of that run of Peter David, the newer run of Peter David's with Multiple Man, we do get into Hope stuff towards the end. Of that.
So it's probably Second Coming.
Yeah. But in before that, we have a revisit of Dr. Samson. And they call it the issue in the original run was called examinations, and now it's called re-examinations, and you get the little bits for everybody, which is really fun. And then you also get Pietro.
Okay.
Even though he is not part of the team. And he's like, did you look me up? Like, why did you come see me? Because you went just for old time's sake, because you had to go interview X Factor again. And Samson's like, actually, kind of, yeah. He's like, I haven't been able to stop thinking about how you talked about the ATM. He's like, every time I stand behind someone at ATM, I think about you. Here's the thing.
That's absolutely what would happen.
It's very, if someone told me that, I would never think about it the same. Right.
Anytime you're in line.
Yeah. Fun fact, at this point in the run, he doesn't have powers. This is after decimation. This is
post M-Day.
This is actually directly post M-Day.
Yeah.
So his whole storyline here is about him keeping it a secret that decimation happened because of Scarlet Witch. People don't know that it was her.
Yeah.
And, well, the X-Men know.
Yeah.
But the rest of the world doesn't know.
Right.
And a lot of mutants don't know. And during this run, he doesn't have his speedster powers, but ends up with some other powers because he steals some of the Terrigen,
crystals.
Mists. Yeah, he steals the crystals.
Yeah, that make the mist. Yeah.
Yes, and he becomes like this messiah figure. He calls himself a bishop.
Okay.
And he is using, so one, he exposes his daughter to the crystals. Okay. So his, something we didn't mention because Luna is not super important in this, even though she's his daughter, but maybe she is important in Avengers, I don't know. But like, she has no powers.
Okay.
Until he exposes her to the Terrigen Mist.
And that's how the Inhumans work.
Right.
Is that they don't have powers until
the Terrigen Mist.
Until they get misted.
Yeah. And he was like, there was like a subplot where he was really upset that she doesn't have powers and the acolytes.
So he did get powers from the mists?
He does.
Okay. So this is partially what we'll talk about next week, is that he was a mutant and then he's not a mutant.
He's still a mutant here.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
It gets retconned at some point he's not a mutant, and I assumed at this point he was still a mutant post-M-Day.
He is.
So that would mean he'd be part Inhuman if the mists gave him powers.
So here's the thing. He embeds the crystals in his skin.
Okay.
So it's not the mist. It's the actual
so it's just the
crystals.
crystal?
Again,
crazy.
Inhumans, outside of my realm of expertise.
And the only reason I know or have any interest in the Inhumans is that Ms. Marvel,
yes,
Kamala Khan, is the only one we know of that is an Inhuman and a mutant.
Yeah. So here's the thing why I don't think he's Inhuman.
Yeah.
Because
not if he did it that way.
Right. Because not only does he do that, he ends up giving powers to other mutants via like these crystals in his arms and his chest and his torso. And so there's like, I don't want to go into like all the plot here. I don't know if that's like super necessary, but basically we are post decimation. There are mutants that are like, that believe the government has taken the powers from them, which makes sense.
Absolutely is what you would think.
Right. And they're upset and they want their powers back.
Yeah.
He knows that they didn't, like that didn't happen, but he's not telling the the regular people. He does tell X Factor.
Because it's Wanda.
Right. He does tell X Factor. And they let him live in like quote unquote mutant town. That's what it's like called in that area.
In San Francisco. Yeah.
And he's like a healer. So even though they're not part of the same team, he's kind of like in their
still nearby
vicinity, but he's a villain. Just so FYI, we're getting there.
We're back to villain territory.
Yeah, because Samson calls him a villain. He's like, no, I don't believe I'm a villain. I think that like I'm fixing the wrongs that we've made. Yeah. So this is like his way of doing it, except that these twisted versions of the powers are not the same powers. So he has the ability to jump forward in time.
Okay.
And then like send him, like take his future self into the present and like move things around. So like it's like very weird. So like basically how he gets all these crystals without Black Bolt finding out right away is because he's like jumping around through time.
Okay.
And he's stealing them.
Is this the Son of M?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, this is the Son of M issues. Yeah.
Okay.
They're not all in Son of M. Like some of the stuff is talked about in this Peter David run.
Sure.
But if you want a deep dive into the whole thing with that, Son of M is the issues.
It's like a 5-issue run.
Yeah, like the 5-issue run. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
He gives the
six.
Sorry,
my bad.
He gives mutants their powers back, except it kills them, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
And it is that to me feels much more like what happens to mutants when they're exposed to the Terrigen Mist, right? Is that they die.
Yeah.
And like Pietro ends up losing like he has to keep re-exposing himself to the crystals and stuff. Sure. That's why he embeds them in order to keep these powers of future jumping and stuff like that. It's during this point that while he's stealing these crystals, he's like, I am exposing my daughter to danger, and he sends her back to live with her mom. there is like a bunch of weird stuff that happens here with Layla Miller, who knows stuff and can kind of see what's happening. But basically, she sets him up where he thinks he's going to reunite with his wife, where he gets basically caught into a scheme with the Inhumans. And she's like, we're getting divorced, and Black Bolt annuls their marriage. And she's also like, you can never see your child again. And
Yikes.
It's like cut off.
Oh,
it's brutal. He ends up like pretty alone and powerless. He doesn't die, which I think you're right, where like these are the seeds of like, is he a mutant? Because why didn't he die? Like he should have died.
Well, I feel like, because if you want to go into retcon territory, because we probably won't talk about this next week, eventually you find out he's not a mutant. And in all fairness, it is Wanda doing it.
Yes.
So like there is such a close connection between the two of them.
Yeah.
And if she believes they're mutants, I can see it changing him even if he's not a mutant.
Yeah. Because at some point he repents for all of his bad behavior during this, and he gets his speed powers back.
Yeah.
Inexplicably.
So
I could not find a real reason. Like I searched and
sometimes
I was like,
that is what happens.
I was
just
like,
happens.
okay, you got him back. I assume, again, when your sister is the Scarlet Witch, hey, sure, whatever.
Right.
Like, I guess. But it's only after he's like, I did bad things, I've accepted like the wrongs that he's done or whatever. He basically turns back to good and he gets his speed powers back.
Gotcha.
This is him. That to me is Quicksilver. He makes a lot of bad mistakes. He loves his family.
Oh,
but
to a fault.
He is a inherently distrustful person.
I mean, the only time I've seen him as of late was during Krakoa. We've talked about the trial of Magneto, where Scarlet Witch dies.
Yeah.
And he shows up furious.
Pissed. Yeah.
So like that's what I see. You know, it's him quick to respond about something but like is throwing accusations at people that he has no proof.
Right.
He's hot-headed, he's quick. He was part also like the Uncanny Avengers in Fall of X, but I don't remember much of if there was anything real important. Like nothing pops out, you know. Fall of X is crazy, and Uncanny Avengers is not the most important part of that run, you know. But there was a 2018 mini called Quicksilver No Surrender, where it's 5 issues. It starts with him like in media res, like they are fighting something with, and there's like this energy orb that's moving really fast. His powers are boosted by Wanda. He smashes the thing and gets caught in a moment, essentially. Okay. Everyone else is still, and he can move around.
Okay.
That is most of the 5 issues. He's stuck in this in-between place.
Oh.
And he's fighting these colored versions of himself, essentially. Like it's a red energy being that looks like him, and then a yellow one, and then a purple one, and a whatever. And he's fighting them as they're trying to hurt people he even slightly knows. Like it starts off with like, that's the guy who gets me my coffee.
Okay.
Luna ends up being one of them. And he saves Luna and is like, I don't feel anything about this. Like I should feel like there's my estranged daughter.
Yeah.
I don't know. But it works its way up to it starts trying to attack Wanda and the Avengers and whatever. It is a lot of text boxes, not him talking, him thinking. And I won't go into the whole bit by bit, but it basically comes, whereas before you were saying it's his impatience, that's where a lot of his personality traits come. This one seems to go more into like his anxieties.
Interesting.
Like he can't stop. He's not allowed to stop. Like he keeps fighting all these things and he's like, but then there's more. And I could go. So it's like the issues are him trying to deal with the speed force that, or, you know, his speedster powers, but in a way that's like, how does that mess not just with your patience, but with your, how you view the world even. And it becomes him having like the solution almost to it is him being Zen. It's him taking a moment, enjoying, he's realizing he doesn't enjoy things anymore. And I'll be honest with you, I was reading this as someone who somewhat recently it took on too many things at the same time and literally had no time to breathe.
Yeah.
I was doing all the things I needed to do, and I didn't feel like I was enjoying much because I didn't have time to. And being a speedster has got to be worse because, like, you have the time, right? If you can do it. Like, there gets to a point, he's like, there are so many other crimes that are going on right now. So many people getting murdered and things that are happening. And I could stop them all, but I can't. Like, even in this in-between place, there's going to be more. Right. And so at one point, he stops and is like, all right, well, now I'm just going to enjoy myself. And even that, like, he's not taking a moment. He's like, well, I can't watch movies because time has stopped, but I can read books, and I'll read lots of books. And he even gets to this like Zen book where it's like the descriptions are basically take a breath, live in the moment, stop for and enjoy. And when he gets snapped into regular time, he's like, oh, I can smell things. I remember what it's like to enjoy this and enjoy that. And there's like you've seen Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah.
And there's Nega Scott.
Yeah.
It's basically that. It's like a black and white version of him they've both been ripped into the regular time stream.
Okay.
And the other one's like, I'm going to kill everything and this, that, and the other thing. And it basically has to be Pietro going like, hey man, it's okay. Come here. And like giving him a hug. And that like kind of solves the problem. God. Is him being like, he's like, I know I need to enjoy stuff, but also I know this is a part of me. Like it all is just one thing. And it's funny because like you would think it would end with him sleeping. Right.
Yeah.
Like,
go to bed.
Just go to bed. Well, because they do that. They're like, come to the Avengers mansion, lay down, relax. And he can't. He still can't. But it ends with him at a diner, like an all-night diner with Wanda, enjoying a milkshake. It's just like enjoying the moment with someone you love. And so they sort of contextualize his speed as more of an anxiety-ridden power as opposed to just like impatience.
I like that. I think that's like it's weird how much psychological stories there are around him, honestly.
Right. Well, like, and like we were doing the same with like Multiple Man.
Yeah,
like,
he has a lot too. Yeah.
It's taking these characters that like seem so simple.
Yeah.
And being like, what would that do to you?
Yeah.
Like, how could that change you? And I think with Pietro specifically, his history lends itself to be a little more interesting with it.
Yeah, absolutely. I know not a lot of people, like, I think Peter David's runs are, especially the later one, are kind of a mixed bag for a lot of people. Yeah. I love them.
Yeah.
But it's because it is so much like interpersonal drama. If you are really looking for like earth-shaking Galactus fights, that's not what these
not what's
books
happening
are.
here.
That's not what these books are.
You don't do private eye investigations.
No, but
for that.
You really are gonna come out knowing a lot about the characters, or at least his interpretations of those characters, which I think are kind of fun and give you a lot of background. Anyway.
All right. That about wraps up this week. I'm producer James.
And I'm Stasia.
And we'll see you for the next 10.